The Williamson tunnels in Edge Hill, Liverpool are a mysterious underground labyrinth built by Joseph Williamson and his workers in the early 1800s. Joseph Williamson was a wealthy tobacco merchant who gave work to local unemployed men to dig seemingly pointless holes in the ground. After Williamson's death in 1840, the work of the so-called Mole of Edge Hill was largely forgotten, until recent years when local heritage enthusiasts have campaigned to rediscover, protect and restore the structures. Volunteers from the Friends of Williamson's Tunnels group embarked upon the colossal job of clearing out a section of underground chambers below a hillside overlooking Liverpool city centre.
Okay, well this is our Paddington site. It's one of 3 areas of the Williamson's tunnels that are now accessible and open. And in this section we've been excavating for very nearly 4 years after a long wait while we negotiated a lease for this site, and on the 18th of November 2012 we had our first skip delivered on the site, and that was a great day when we started the digging for the very first time. Digging and removing the spoil from these very deep cellars. On this job, one man on the shovel needs a team of about 15 to get that stuff to the surface and into the skip and sieved. I think a lot of people don't realise that. They think it's all about digging. There's very rarely more than 2 people with a shovel in their hands, sometimes only 1, and it is a back-breaking job. It was quite variable, but there were many areas where there were enormous quantities of interesting finds, and when that happened we would slow right down and treat it more like a proper archaeological dig. Other areas we found there was hardly anything to be had at all, and so we would speed up. And we've just finished filling skip number 157, and that'll be on its way on Wednesday morning, and we'll start filling 158. 157 skips, and we reckon we probably put about 12 tonnes in each, so I think the last calculation I did was at least 1,800 tonnes.
Before Joseph Williamson arrived in Edge Hill in the early 1800s, it was a sleepy hamlet in the countryside, overlooking the growing town of Liverpool. On the Paddington site, he built a 4-storey building, which later became Lunt's Bakery, with cellars as deep as the building is tall, according to historical records. This building was demolished in the 1930s to make way for council tenements, and the site of the caverns was lost, until the Friends of Williamson's Tunnels made an exploratory dig.
I think we're going the wrong way.
When they first broke in here in 1999, nobody had any idea how deep it went. They could scramble down over the rubble into level 3, and when they got down there, they had about 2 feet of headroom to scramble over the top of the spoil. We've now got, after nearly 4 years, almost to the bottom of this very deep cellar system, which is so impressive in itself for what it is, even though it doesn't appear to connect up with anything else. It's about 60 feet below ground, and when you're standing in the lowest chamber, it's like standing in the middle of a large church and looking up at the roof. It's a really impressive structure, but it's obviously started life as a deep quarry. I think a lot of us who have spent 4 years digging this out have enjoyed every minute of it, because we're the sort of people who enjoy getting mucky and we enjoy hard graft. There's something about this place, or the whole concept of these underground structures with no particular purpose and no real answers as to why Williamson constructed them in the first place, which grabs most people the first time they see it. They find it very, very interesting, even if they don't want to become involved in emptying them out. But for those of us who are drawn in, I think we're all mad, basically. It's something we do right now and have been doing for years. We've been bringing our members down here, and we have over 1,000 of them, and we organise members' visits twice a year over several weekends, as well as Heritage Open Days. But really, it could do with being opened up as a proper tourist attraction.
People are gradually realising that preserving Liverpool's historical legacy from the 18th and 19th century is important to the city's economy today. The determination of the Friends of Williamson's tunnels in researching, rediscovering and obtaining a lease on the Paddington site, and then the efforts of the team of volunteer diggers to remove around 2,000 tonnes of spoil by hand, have secured a precious part of Liverpool's heritage for future generations.